That
You
is.
know, I'm just looking at his sort of win rate now. So on his pub games, he's got 270 games on it. It's his second highest. That way, 271 games, Pango, 272 slugs. So basically, his most played support hero in the position that he's playing today, 60% win rate. So you know, if Ari's going to perform here, this is the hero to put him on. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's see. I'm worried because of like the time dilation plus the Enchantress, just constant harassment versus these two, but maybe just Death Prophet is strong enough to offset it because of Spirit Siphon, and he'll be okay with the backup of Ari.
Now, let's see.
Let's see how it all goes.
Just flat out, I'm concerned because one of these teams got a last pick faceless forward. I really think that's something that you're not going to see get to happen too much, at least as the qualifiers go on. This hero, insane. And it really is. It's not like there's a lack of backup for the Void this game. It's Void Invoker.
Look at this. They're trying. They got this vision for a second here.
Oh, here we go. A little cheeky hook potential here from Otika.
But look, Nisha is playing it. He knows.
Oh, they're going to see.
They see Kadaro first.
Maybe Otaka could still get a hook in.
Oh, the Frostbite.
Oh, he doesn't want to do it. There's too many members of Secret here. It's too hard of a fight for Into the Breach to take. Even if they land a hook, the chances of bursting through a hero without losing something themselves pretty low.
Okay, we also, we get Blessed, so of course it is also going to be this Exhort, even early game. Not going to go for the Quaswex to start. He's playing this, so that's going to be cool. We're going to see these Global Sunstrike setups. Also, I mean, the potential, of course, as we mentioned, there's a reason why we said the late game Secrets is going to be insane. The Cataclysm plus Chrono.
Yes.
And yeah, let's see.
Not a whole lot you can do against that. And one thing as well that Into the Breach may suffer with is, so that Chrono comes down, they don't really have supports that are going to be able to back you up defensively, right? No sort of buffs, heals. The only save they have is the Pudge hook.
Yes, Pudge will have to be the one that kind of bails out somebody else, and he's the one that's probably going to get caught inside most of those spells because he's a one position. So yeah, let's see how these lanes fail. Let's see how the Void Spirit's able to do versus the Invoker. Exhort has got it, of course, buffed a little bit. Nice deny.
Well done there by Supreme, grouping up with the range creep, so the damage gets split. But yeah, absolutely. Overall, excited to see what Void Spirit can do as last pick, because of course, with that being that held to that high priority at that final selection for Into the Breach, they obviously feel there's still a lot of potential with this hero.
Up top,
something that other teams aren't really. We'll see them try and chase down Rezo. He'll get caught by another Frostbite, but not enough damage to take him down from range. So Rezo's going to be fine.
They did something pretty cool here, actually, is Kadaro's going to get gone on again, but there's no Eidolon, so he should be fine. They actually used the Frostbite on the Eidolons. They used 2 Frostbites just to kill 2 of the Eidolons, and then they actually got the 3rd one. So they killed all 3, and they might get Rezo.
That's a lovely little hook there from Attacker, right between the Creep and Zayats. I mean, if they sort of had better foresight there, maybe Zayats would have had the ability to block it, but indeed, straight down the middle of them, and that's first blood for Into the Breach off the back of a lovely hook.
I love the way they did the first wave. Honestly, I think that's super clever. Something I haven't seen before people utilize. I've seen them use like Chens and Enchantresses, but I haven't ever seen someone use a CM to just Frostbite an Eidolon.
It's smart.
That's cool.
It's a new approach, and you've got to be trying these different approaches against such a incredibly meta hero right now that some teams will just pick every single game in their first phase.
Yep. And now we'll see mid. This is going to be the lane that's a little tough for Supreme. This Forge Spirits. He has to make sure that he always gets at least one of the runes. You can always use a Forge Spirit to check one rune, and you body check with the other one with your hero. So it's all about Supreme ensuring that he at least is able to get one of them, because he's going to lose out on CS versus an Exort Invoker. He needs to ensure that he has the healing, at least from those water runes.
It's not gonna be an easy lane for him.
No. And looking at bottom, I'm already seeing a bit of the issue that I was kind of thinking that was going to happen down here. Pango doesn't provide the same as he used to, or almost ever really, as like a laning partner. So Jibe is just getting full zoned out right now from Puppey, and Crystallis is free farming.
And this just, in your mind, doesn't get better as the sort of the lane progresses and the levels come in. It's just consistently going to be a matchup that Pango will have to deal with this time dilation and struggle.
Yeah, I mean, Jibe maybe with the siphons can actually always end up like surviving and stuff like that, but it's definitely going to reflect on his last hits how much he gets zoned from Puppey with Ari unable to help.
No, for sure. I mean, as with most Death Prophet lanes, right, it's just going to be down to that situation of, if Secret maybe see an opportunity to get aggressive and they don't quite kill Jibe, and then turnaround potential comes in with the Death Prophet and the siphons, then it's going to look good for Into the Breach. But if Secret don't make that sort of mistake or overextension, if things stay static, Secret's going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Crystallis, the thing about Void versus Death Prophet also, I think this is why they also went for it last pick, is you can just break the Siphon in lane really easy. You just jump away most of the times. Up top, Kadaro. Rezo's actually gone on.
I mean, Rezo's going to be in a lot of trouble. They turn with the Frostbite. Attacker running down Resolution. Oh, that's going to be... Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, he hit a banger of a hook early, but there's no excuse for that one, folks. That was a point-blank range miss.
I'm typing dash ping. Okay, he's not
I would right now if I was a Pudge. That was, you know, it's a stressful situation. And he did hit a great one before that. So, you know, balancing all things. But an unfortunate miss there for him.
You miss every hook you don't throw.
I miss every hook that I do throw. So, you know, it's not true for everyone. But there we go. Happens. It happens. Still, you know, top lane CS is good. I mean, Rezo, honestly, despite that first death, Enigma things are still happening. You know, he's coming into the lane, taking away, you know, creep after creep with the Eidolons, and he's farming just as well as the Pudge.
Absolutely, and it's gonna continue to get like better and better for Rezo with those constant denies that come out. They can even post kill threat onto Kadaro constantly as Rezo again.
Oh, it's so close.
He's got a nuke in one.
I mean, surely the nuke's going to get him. It does. This time, once again, into the breach. They'll take down Resolution on the top lane.
He's stepping a little too far up. Zayats is trying his best to like snowball bail him out, but Rezo's getting a little too aggressively up there, and they're punishing him for it. Versus the CM, the constant spam from these two. Nicely done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Otaker?
Otaka?
We both say it differently.
Baboba?
Baboka.
Baboka. You know? Depends what part, what accent you got.
Exactly.
But yeah, this top lane on Pudge CM, yeah, outside of that mistook, it's looking like a pretty good practice against the Enigma.
Yeah, it's a killer lane, right? It's exactly what it's posed for. It's just a constant setup for these kills. So yeah, it's good stuff. They might even get another one here. There's a snowball, but it's on the Pudge.
I'll see if Zayats can get away nicely.
Nice
use the shards, and
beautiful,
that will do
actually. Because it's even like against the tree. So
he looked pretty dead there. Zayats said no to death, and he'll walk out alive.
That's why you first picked Tusk, you know? He's very comfortable on it. 2-kill lead for Into the Breach, but you're already seeing the network reflect.
Yes, the farm is still kind of untouched here for Secret's cause, just getting the same out of the lanes. And indeed, Nisha in that scary top spot. Top net worth and on the way towards his Midas. He's on track to having a pretty good game here as the Invoker, as he has done so many, many times before.
Yeah. It's the denies are really the more insane part. Sure, he's got 35 lasted, but he has 16 denies over this Void Spirit. So Supreme's still level 5, and Nisha's 6.5 at the moment.
That's pretty insane.
Eyes on those side lanes, especially for those Sunstrikes. It's starting to do like nearly, I think it's 7, it's 300 damage. So 300 pure damage. All these heroes are, that's half their HP for the most part on most of these. Top.
Oh, this time Attacker in trouble. They're in with the Malefice. If there's anything Kadaro can do to save him, we'll try and slow them down. And he will manage to walk away. But, of course, kept very, very low now to that harassment.
Oh, he's watching Nisha to see if he goes for the Invoke.
Off a bit of a Sunstrike.
Maybe could have gotten it, but doesn't quite go for it. He's playing more for the lane, keeping Ice Wall invoked.
Yeah, he's focused. You know, when you at this point where you're like a few hundred gold away from the Midas, you're just making sure you don't miss a single CS. So you get that Midas as soon as you can.
I think if Supreme didn't have Invis Rune, I think Nisha might just kill him there. Because he could just lay down the Ice Wall and commit because he's still level 5. He doesn't know Supreme's skill build, I guess, either, but Supreme did go for the second point in Aether Remnant rather than having to simulate to protect himself. So this is a very kill-thirsty kind of build that he's gone for here. Double-checking runes here. Puppey already playing around mid. Same thing for Zayats. They have independent side lanes. Crystal's under no pressure. Rezo now able to pull the lane back, so they can make this move for free.
I see. See if they can do something here. They've tried the setup onto Nisha. But quick micro there from Puppey will pull Nisha back to a safe distance.
And he's got Midas complete now, and there's Chrono Strike ready on Crystallis. So Jibe has to be very cautious bottom. A Chronosphere plus Sunstrike could be enough if they get him down low with a couple bashes.
Top lane, we're about to get the 6s online here as well from the
nice
2 cores.
Shards again. Wow.
I mean, ooh, good hook. But may still be dead. There's a snowball heading the way of Kadaro. In they go. Sunstrike on the mark. Nisha will be able to pick up the kill. We'll see if Attacker can get some of these kills in return. But Malefice is back up. He'll be slowed down. Won't be able to stay on top of Resolution or Zayats. So, of course, Nisha to be very happy there. Picking up a kill and picking up his Midas.
a crazy Sunstrike too. It looked like it was going to miss, and the CM just perfectly backed up into it. You know, he predicted it, I guess. Level 8 now complete, so now the lane in mid, it was already very difficult. Now it's impossible. The double Forge Spirits are at the ready for Nisha. You have to gank and set up for him if you want to actually lane verse him for the most part. And yeah, there's the threats from Black Hole and Chronosphere on the 2 side lanes with a Sunstrike follow-up.
And we might see down bottom something happening because Chrysalis is jumping in aggressively. He'll drop the Chrono. See if he's got enough damage on his own. He's going to need a few bashes. Sunstrike in. Ari does get bashed finally there by Chrysalis. Took him some time there to get a bash off. See if they can take him out in return. Jumps to the side. Supreme will look for the chase with the Astral Step and will grab him. Ether Remnant down. Chrysalis will fall. So quick movements there from Into the Breach. They knew they could tell, you know, that Chrysalis was poised and ready to jump with the Chrono, and they do make sure he pays for that. So yeah, look, support for a core Into the Breach, they'll be happy with that. We'll see Nisha immediately put on the pressure in the mid, but TPs are coming in. Kadaro trying to sort of scare Nisha off, and with the help of Ari, they should be able to do so. Still a hell of a lot of damage coming out from him and his Forge Spirit. Supreme, and with the jump, Ether Remnant not on target. Tries to get it around the Forge Spirit to get the grab, but won't be there. And now it's a Secret's turn to turn up in the numbers as we've got both, you know, Chrysalis as well as Zayat's coming over towards the mid lane to try and fight back against Into the Breach. Still though, Into the Breach won't be caught. They'll be back under the towers, and a close opening continues. 2-3, only 1k difference right now, and the main thing being that Nisha is just completely untouched and having as free of an opening to this game as he could have hoped for as an Invoker.
And they have a Midas on the Invoker, and they have Void and Enigma. They have like kind of this like pretty greedy lineup if you look at it. It's in the essence that it scales essentially incredibly hard. Sure, it's relatively strong still in lanes, but this lineup having this type, even just a 1k, but it is going to be noticeable. Yeah. Nisha just going for more Exort points, actually not putting any more in Wex just yet. So Forge Spirit stronger, Sunstrike as well.
I was saying is what one of the strengths of a hero like Invoker with these summons, every single power rune spawn, Forge Spirits are going out. We just saw like an Arcane rune denied. Taking these sort of power runes away from a hero like Void Spirit, it's massive.
Yeah, and they're constantly bringing the supports. That's what I'm seeing too. Like Puppy actually denied a DD rune earlier. Yep. So yeah, they know exactly how they want to play versus Void Spirit to not let him fill up that bottle to have his space on that. And now mid, this tower's in jeopardy.
And they've got to bring in some more TPs. They'll bring Attacker over.
Okay.
So they can put a stop to this push. Let's see if he can get any sort of chance for a setup. It's not going to be easy. Secret should be able to easily back off from the pressure.
But they force the Pudge mid. Now Rezo, he's going to be able to apply pressure up top. See if they can make a setup onto Crystals. I see Supreme coming down. They have a point in silence on Jibe. They do. They could get this kill. And Exorcism's up in 5.
Yeah, for a silence and a remnant grab, they should have the damage.
They should. Let's see.
Yeah,
waiting to have more backup.
We'll see sort of how quick reactions coming from Secret. I mean, Chrysalis, he can already sense something's up.
Nope, nobody's on the map. This is starting to look kind of obvious. I'm surprised they brought down the 2 supports as well.
Yeah, I
think that made it kind of
obvious.
He's
safe. I don't think they'll find him hidden away this deep in the trees. Yeah, Chrysalis is able to walk away. At the least, though, Into the Breach, they will look to take the tower.
I think they over-rotated, though. Like, when you look at the map, no one's showing top, Pudge was jungling, and there's literally just a Death Prophet showing. So Chrysalis, he knew something was going on.
And they'll end up losing the tier 1 tower top. They're Into the Breach. Due to sort of the heavy focus on that bottom lane. We saw Ari TP up to the top lane, but now he's going to probably stay quite hidden in that tree line as there's you know, no one else to back him up if he does reveal.
He has thankfully hit 6.
Again, Nisha. I mean, it's got to be frustrating, right? You're playing one of these spirits, you're not getting a single power rune.
That's the power of these double Forge. Even in the lane, even before he has the double, like he's constantly checking one and sending a Forge Spirit toward the other. And almost Boots of Travel ready. So he's going to be able to have his presence on the map anywhere to those Eidolons or turn Enchantress creep. Pretty much in every situation.
Yeah, not an easy lane at all for Supreme to turn up to, and it hasn't been for the past few minutes. See, Blink Dagger now done on Resolution, so he'll be ready to get involved.
And it's constantly scary to show individual heroes in any of the side lanes for the reasons that we keep saying. You know, Chrono threat in one lane plus a Sunstrike, Black Hole threat in the other one plus a Sunstrike. So can definitely see why Into the Breach is playing a little patient right now, just getting some farm set up, doing some stacks at the moment. Does feel like they're pretty reliant on Exorcism for early damage.
Oh, for sure. And as you say, you know, considering the draft that they have, you know, if you're Into the Breach, you'd certainly be expecting to be getting a bit more done, a bit more out of the map at this stage of the game. Yeah. When you consider what you're going to be up against as the minutes pass, when you look at Secret's lineup.
Yeah, like we said earlier, right? The mid game has to be pretty explosive because the scaling, the secret just gets unbelievably potent versus what you're up against, and they're all free farming. All three cores just kind of doing whatever they want at the moment.
See a
Now
smoke
Secret.
around mid. They want to see if they can maybe get the catch on Supreme, and there it is. Straight away, in with the Chrono. TP's coming in. They're not going to be able to help out Supreme in time as he falls. Quick kill for Secret off the back of the Chrono.
And Aghanims is queued up. Almost max Exort already. Let's see if they can do anything to punish while Chronosphere is on cooldown right now. We need to start seeing these supports pair up and look to make some moves. Ari as well to CM. Kadaro still just keeping stacks going, so they will be able to have those to farm up on, but they need to start pressuring somehow.
Bottom. You see this here from Puppey baiting some action. They'll try and set up onto Jibe, but the silence is theirs. They'll turn over towards Rezo, and that is the Chrono put to an end. So now it's Secret that are having to run. Nisha will try and hold them back with the Tornado, but Rezo already falls to the damage of the Swashbuckler. They'll still look to lead in. Puppey at the side getting dealt with by Kadaro as Kadaro drops down the freezing field, takes down Puppey into the breach. They're ready to jump for more. They're over on top of Nisha. They're taking out a third. They're going to be able to get science out of this as well. A
huge
Secret
rotation.
biting off a bit more than they could chew there. You could tell it was all Secret's intention to start a fight there. Puppey baiting the action, feeling like they have the strength for around the black hole, but it just got completely ruined by a silence. Secret lose 4, and straight away into the breach, they're ready to sweep over and put some pressure onto the tier 1 tower. A huge fight there for Into the Breach to find right up against Secret's tier 2 tower nearly.
And yeah, Exorcism came up like right toward the end of it. Like literally the perfect situation for Jibe. Gets the heals off, and yeah, the silence. It's midair as Black Hole casts. Literally same frame or something. It looked like they were casted.
We'll see it again. I was going to say, I didn't even see the black hole begin.
I heard the noise like
that quickly.
And it just stopped instantly.
And you know, sort of just after that, it just seemed like there was no backup plan for Secret in that moment. It was very much built around them dropping the black hole onto the Death Prophet, getting that kill. That didn't happen. They didn't have a plan B for them.
No, and it was exactly like they needed to make the move while Chronosphere was down. Everything kind of lined up for them perfectly. And now Pudge, he goes and backs up, and we were talking about those stacks that Kadaro was getting set up. Now they make an aggressive move, and he gets to farm all those. And Aghanims is nearly going to be done now, so a big hit.
Oh, I'm excited to see, you know, how will the old Pudge match up against the Void? You know, because Pudge, it really is that hero that sometimes it just beats these carries that you don't expect it to beat.
Yeah, sometimes just too tanky. Even an Invoker with this much farm, the burst might not be enough with him this enabled from all the... I mean, he is absolutely enormous now, level 12.
Yeah, that whole fight put everything back on even grounds. And if anything, a little bit of a lead now for Into the Breach. Exactly the place they needed to be at this point of the game. You know, their team built to find these fights and just break down this ability from Secret to try and get these easy so-and-so called kills around these ultimates. If they shut down one of these big ultimates in this stage of the game, which is pretty easy to do pre-BKBs, then they're going to have a good fight back.
Absolutely. Still got to look to play a bit fast. They have to watch out for Chronosphere, but still want to start to look active. 15 seconds for Exorcism as well.
I mean, as you said, they'll be bringing in the Pudge now. No, Attacker with the Ags. He's ready to get involved. Let's see what they can get. I mean, Secret in the neighborhood. Try with a hook, but not quite able to get the angle on Puppey.
They might think there's a ward now on Secret because of that. As mid.
Try with the setup. Got the punch up, Supreme. Still has to dissimulate and a step away. Not quite enough lockdown outside of the ultimates from Secret to trap this Void Spirit.
That's why they went for that last pick. A bit elusive versus this lineup without those big ults until some other form of disable comes out. Now they can turn into a tower push. Exorcism is ready. They don't need it for this low of a tower. Could save it for the next fight.
Because we do have the Chronosphere online for quite some time, but you know, Chrysalis obviously focusing on just getting his farm for now rather than looking to get involved with the ultimate at this point of the game. Probably just sort of down the line of thinking that you kind of imagine when you see Secret's lineup that as long as they don't lose too much in this portion, they get the BKB on the Faceless Void, things should be set up for their core heroes to scale and carry.
Yeah, I'm sure like even after the bottom situation happened, Puppey or somebody on the team price says, guys, why are we forcing this? Why are we forcing something to go on? Like we have this crazy scaling lineup. We can chill. Bottom, Ari. Rezo's gonna throw the hole.
Yeah, knows that this time there's nothing to stop it. You know, after you've had a whiff Black Hole, sometimes you just want to drop it just to show you still can. And he does. Gets the kill.
And now into the breach. You know, you see Black Hole used. You got to try to take advantage of it somehow. So Supreme looking for some power runes. Should be able to get a haste rune and maybe set up for top. Lacking some vision on the top side, though.
Yeah. And if anything as well, that move from Rezo really sort of telegraphs the whole, Secret don't want to fight as a team right now.
Yeah.
They're just dropping spells, dropping big ults like that because they're saying to you, we're not going to turn up, we're not going to fight you. Of course, for Into the Breach, they've got to read that and say, well, we're really going to force it. We're going to find these little avenues and sort of little gaps that you've left, and we're going to punish it. And you'll see here now, group up, ready to go. They want to find kills. They want to find blood here Into the Breach.
Oh, bottom. Jibe.
So if they get any TPs in to back him up, underneath the tab, punch up into the Sunstrike, not enough to kill him straight off. He is going to be fine. And
their next move is probably Roche, I think, for Into the Breach. It's only level 1 EXO, though. I thought they would wait for the level 2.
Chrono in the mid. Nisha does step into it, though. It doesn't matter. Bashes are there to make sure that the job's still done, but we'll see Into the Breach look to punish Rolling Thunder into the hook. They'll be able to kill Crystallis. I think they'll be okay with that one Into the Breach. That's Chrono used, and they get a fair trade.
And they get the level 12 now in Jibe because of the kill. So he actually has level 2 EXO. So
huge.
This Roche is going to die quite a lot faster.
I mean, it's going to die very quick. And no Chrono, no Black Hole. There's no way Secret's going to be turning up for this Roshan. Best they can do is look for a tier 1 tower trade down bottom. But again, a trade that Into the Breach, 19 minutes in with their lineup, they'll be very, very happy with.
Yeah, that was pretty ideal. I was looking, I was like, they can do Roche, but it's only level 1 EXO. Bam, he gets the level 2, so they get it secured for free. Nisha does have Aghanims now finished, so in the next situations, instead of a single Sunstrike, the Cataclysm will probably come in with Zayats to get these pickoffs. But a big move Into the Breach. Even though they keep losing Supreme, they're getting some pretty solid farm and getting this at least some map control.
Absolutely. Quite the setup here so far in this game. 20 minutes in, 1k gold difference between the two teams. Yeah, matchup, maybe like some of the previous ones that people had expectations in terms of a team, being able to just stomp the other. That's not going to happen here. Whatever happens, this is going to be a close one on our hands.
Yeah, Ari already has Blink Dagger on Pango now too, so now they actually have ways to start fights a little bit easier. Their fight starting was kind of awkward before, so maybe now they could actually pick off on the side lanes here, but Secret, they are going to start getting some ultis back up soon. 40 seconds for Black Hole. So let's see, Into the Breach. They're also right now just chilling. Death Prophet ult on cooldown.
Yeah, they're close to the Blink Dagger on attacker.
Yep, Supreme halfway to Ags. A little bit of a slowdown period for their EXO to come back, but that also, same thing, goes both ways. Now EXO, or Black Hole as well as the Chronosphere are going to be back up very soon. And Secret, they're playing all 3 lanes, so that kind of says the way that they want to play this game. Very farm heavy. And do want to point out also, the Dagger of Ristul was what allowed Crystallis to have enough damage inside that Chronosphere.
Oh, he did pop the active.
He did pop it.
Because we're seeing some players forget to, or at least not opt to sometimes, but indeed. I mean, that would have been one of those situations. If he didn't get the kill because he didn't pop it, it wouldn't have looked great.
I was watching, don't worry.
Yeah. You were ready. You're ready to call him out. Yeah.
So many people just aren't using it, I've watched. So I always try to keep track of some of these newer items.
There we go, smoke up here from Into the Breach, ready to play aggressive with the 3 minutes of Aegis left on attacker.
EXO at the ready in 5 as well too. If they get a catch, they could potentially turn it into a tower.
But this is into Black Hole and Chronosphere.
It is. It's always going to be a little bit of a tough game playing into these two, and it's a BKB Black Hole too now.
Yeah.
Rezo, Zayats, they get broken.
Supreme's under the cover. Nova's Sentry Ward. So knows that he's fine, and indeed they won't get the jump. In fact, it's going to be our target that gets the jump. He's in straight away onto Resolution. Resolution pops the BKB in an attempt to get away. Supreme jumps in with the Astral Step. Resolution's having to use this BKB to run. He's going to turn, drop the back up, but again, he instantly has to stop it. There's the Chronosphere, though. Catching the 3 Cataclysm, comes crashing down. Otaka taken out as well as Ari. Kadari tries to hold his ground with a freezing field, turns towards Puppey, will die, but Puppey loses his life in return. Chris is able to get the Time Walk off in time to escape underneath the tier 2, but Into the Breach. They want to try and dive this. Doesn't look like it. They won't dive further. And there we have it. So a 2 for 2, plus Secret taking out the Aegis, of course, their hands of attacker. But it does cost
it's expensive.
Secret. They had to use both of their big ults. And
all 3,
and again, but we didn't really see the Black
is kind of like another ult as well. But.
That's true. With the cooldown that it has, certainly. So, all things said and done, Into the Breach, they're not going to feel too shaken up walking out of that one.
I agree. They didn't even pop Exorcism, so they'll have it for this next upcoming fight if they'd like to smoke in battle, which I think is a pretty good option versus no Black Hole, no BKB, no Chrono, no kind of anything on the side of Secret. Rezo, 2 times now, kind of like hesitating. Like he was playing around with the idea. I saw them kind of walking up. I saw him drop the midnight pulse, but then he just black holes and instant cancels it. So
yeah, because that was sort of his own decision on that one,
Yeah.
right, to cancel it. There was nothing that caught him. It was very much, I want a black hole, hang on, I don't, you know. Sometimes it's hard to make your mind up.
yep, some indecisiveness for sure. Hurting Secret quite a lot.
Jibei. It's going to
Showed
reveal.
himself.
Oh, and Resolution will put a stop to that. And with TP's coming in, Jibei looking very dead. I mean, that was a little bit of a cheeky move there. Maybe it will pay off. Maybe the big brain play here, baiting Secret far out on the lane so the rest of the team can come in and clean up kills. Well, we'll see if they can do exactly that into the breach, see what they can find. They'll catch Zayat in the trees, so they'll get one hero out of this. But looks like they won't get anything more. The rest of Secret have been able to split and escape.
Yeah, Nisha already playing ahead of the lane, avoiding that kind of kill. And also, something interesting to point out, like, it's not always an item that you go for in Enigma, of course, but in this game, I actually thought that he was going to finish up the Vessel. I guess he just really prioritized Blink and BKB. But you could definitely see, like, arguments versus, like, Death Prophet, Pudge, even Pango. Very good Vessel game. I think maybe he doesn't want to waste that kind of gold on it, but...
Sure. Yeah,
I guess it's like the Blink BKB refresher and everything this game. I can, of course, see why. It's like, we win this game late game, so that's probably what he's just thinking.
Yeah,
so.
I think so. And also that, oh my goodness, I can't get these black holes off early. I need a BKB.
Yeah, for sure.
Rezo, he wants to be hitting the flashy ultimates. He doesn't want to be the guy who drops the black hole after a millisecond of casting it. He wants to come in with a big 5-man.
He's better step it up than a
I
little
mean, he's got time. He said that this is the reason why they play for the late game. Gives them more minutes to perform.
Smoked up. They've got Kata and Chrono. Black Hole still cooldown, but this is the big one.
And they did see this.
Ooh, Rezo. His smoke got broken, though, so he knows somebody's in the area.
Oh, yeah, Ari's been very, very sneaky. A very nice spot there to sort of dispel it.
Yeah, and then he puts even a ward down afterwards. Nicely done. Void Spirit now has Eggs, so he can actually trip up a lot of the combos. Nisha does have BKB, though, so going to be harder to go for him, at least.
Can they kill this punch?
Taker. He is quite alone.
He's getting back up on the way, but it's going to take some time. He'll try and stand his ground with a Dismember, but yeah, nothing he can do to trade against pretty much the entirety of Secret's lineup, apart from Puppey, and just watch from a distance.
Alacrity Void. No way you're going to survive there. Is this Pudge without any backup?
Time to push now for Secret. Still
a
got
big
their
window.
ultimates.
40 seconds with all ults. BKB on the Invoker, so he's safe versus this Void Spirit as well. BKB on Crystallis, so he's safe too. Tough fight for Into the Breach upcoming here.
A tier 2 tower that they won't be interested in defending.
Zayat's even scouting. Puts
Almost
a deep
like
ward behind tower.
Secret actually going to pull back from this. Looks like they will. They don't want to put too much attention onto that tier 2 right now. They'd rather split the map. Get some pressure back up on the top lane.
Looks like they're anticipating someone making a move up here to clear the wave. And they're probably right on that front. Supreme is already making his way up.
I'll see what Supreme can do if he wants to set something here, because, you know,
He
Taker's
saw
TPing over.
He saw the Alacrity put on the Forge Spirit, so he knows Invoker's up here.
I mean, they're going to know as well the Secret's fairly split across the map right now. So not a bad time to strike. Arcane Rune at the ready. A Secret seemingly aware, at least Rezo is. He's out of the lane, and Nisha, he'll stay hidden in the trees.
He's still chilling a bit here. There's a sentry down from Ari on the retreat position.
That's pretty, yeah, that's smart.
That's pretty big brain. He knows. Look at the circle.
I was going to say, again, Nisha, he's playing outside of the lane.
He really wants the Midas, though.
He does. Does the Midas temptation get the better of him?
Let's see. I mean, Ari's still here, but he's got no backup anymore.
Yeah, maybe on his own, Ari really can't mess with him too much.
And now Rezo kind of makes his way back over, maybe thinking something's up. And the rest of the team is pretty close by. That was pretty close. I mean, I love these little things that you can see happening between the game. Definitely some nice understanding from both teams.
No, it's a smart placement from Ari, from sentries to opposites.
Yeah,
that one deep in sort of radiance half the map we saw earlier as well. That's not going to get taken away anytime soon. Because, of course, they did deward the one that spotted them smoking. They're not going to necessarily expect him to have immediately placed that other one a little further south after that move.
In the breach, almost having a double BKB timing. Death Prophet and Pudge very close to theirs. Probably wanting to wait for the fight, but they're actually going to go on top.
We're going to see here straight away. I mean, Supreme jumps in, no hesitation from Crystallis to slam down Chronosphere to get that kill.
He has chronoed him exclusively this entire game, I think, right? It's actually straight bullying.
That's how you deal with a Void Spirit, you know.
You're limited on disables.
Exactly.
Just ult them.
I'm going to look at the potential for Roshan Secret. No chrono, of course, for themselves.
They kill it pretty fast.
I mean, Ataker's got his BKB done. If they can get here in time, they could fight this.
Nisha has 0 mana.
I mean, Kadara's just walking in kind of on his own. Now the backup's coming over. Roshan, Kadara, he's going to get in the pit. They want to try and disrupt this. Roshan getting very low resolution. He's going to drop the black hole. Make sure that he can hold back Ataker and indeed make sure Crystallis can still pick up the Aegis. And now Secret, they want to keep the fight going though. Jibbe's got the BKB, turns over towards Crystallis. Crystallis is able to get the time walk off in time though. Protecting that Aegis out to the side. Resolution will tick down low to the vessel. He's trying to heal out in return, but Ari's in to finish up the job. Jumps forward with a 3-man shield crash. Excellent swashbuckle over the two of them as well. They might just be able to still take this fight against Secret. Crystallis is back up, but an immediate silence from Jibbe catches him into the frostbite. He can't time walk anywhere. They may have got the Roshan, they may have got the Aegis, but without a shadow of a doubt, into the breach, they take the team fight, and on top of it all, they'll find the captain, Puppey, hiding in the trees, hunted down by Ari and the Rolling Thunder. It's 4 dead on Secret.
Great execution of fight of just running in. I'm not sure if someone maybe, I didn't see if anyone pinged it out, but Nisha had 0 mana, Owen. 100 mana to start the fight. He threw an Alacrity, and that's it. He literally had nothing else. He kind of just had to watch the fight from the outside.
And not the flashiest of team fights from Nisha's Invoker. Got to make sure, indeed, you got that mana up, and in that situation, maybe a bit of a lapse of judgment outside of a pretty perfect game from him.
He literally just used everything. Right? He has. I'm sub 100 mana, 120 mana when the whole like CM jumps in and the Pudge jumps him and bites him. You see his mana regenerating afterward, but Secret was kind of on full retreat, trying to get away from them because of that. So a great fight again into the breach, making this game competitive. Even though still that advantage, and you know, as we say, you know, the scaling on Secret is still crazy. Into the breach, finding their windows.
No, they really are. And then that's the thing. If we see them continue to do this as the minutes go on, it's going to become more and more impressive.
Yeah.
Because one bad fight and suddenly, you know, if three plus heroes are getting caught in these chronos or these black holes, it's very easy to become game over. The fact is where they've got these sort of 2 late game ultimates that they can use in tandem, one in one team fight, one in the next, gives them sort of more of a window to make sure that even with buybacks, it's going to be very hard for Into the Breach to deal with the threat of these spells later.
Definitely. I see Supreme's already starting to, he's itemizing. He's like, screw this. I'm literally getting chronoed every fight. He's getting Aeon Disc. So maybe this could trip it up a little bit. This is pretty cool. Bottom.
Jibbe will get caught once again here. No struggle, no lack of damage from Nisha.
And he is, as we mentioned, you know, lack of disables. He is going to go for that Hex. So they will have something to catch this Void Spirit once he does pick that
chase here from Ari, and he's going to be able to set that up for a taker. In with the hook, in with the kill.
Mid lane, Rezo. Just harassing.
I mean, I'd be interested to see how many members of Into the Breach do buy these Aeon Discs.
I think they probably want to get at least 2 and maybe even 3. I think CM, Pango, and Void Spirit at the least want to get it. I could argue even for Death Prophet, not the Punch. Mid lane.
In the mid. Quick combo, takes away a hefty amount of damage, HP and a hefty amount of mana there.
Definitely not going to be at the ready to fight now in Supreme.
He's still kind of hanging around. Nisha does want to start something, but it's very hard to do so. And those that Into the Breach are hovering around the trees, ready to fight back. They have Chronosphere online, but Black Hole, how long till that? 25 seconds. So shortly, Secret will be fully prepared to bring another team fight if they so choose to do so.
And they did get another bit of a timing. Nisha has hit level 20, and he buys the shard almost immediately as he does too. So
it's huge damage.
Huge damage, multiple meteors as well. So in Chronosphere, you can actually hit multiple targets easier with it as well, and reduce cooldown, etc. It's really nice to get this timing and buy shard at 20.
Absolutely. There's no longer sort of the need to combo the cooldown of the Chrono with the cooldown of the Cataclysm.
Exactly.
You know, you've got the damage covered. As long as the BKBs don't come off in time from Into the Breach. Which I guess at the moment, it's just sort of the Pudge and the DP that the big ones to worry about with regards to that.
And now Hex is done. So Void Spirit, his life's a lot harder, and he has to be quick with his unlocks if he does get caught on.
Chrono! Only going to catch Kadaro. And not for long. Taker's in with the hook, and now we see Taker. He's ready to jump back in. He just goes up. He's able to find the Enigma straight on top of Resolution. Reza will use the black hole. Cataclysm coming in, but Taker's able to step out to the side. Secret, they didn't get the immediate kills out of this. They'll still bring down the Pudge, but maybe at a price. Arian with the two-man Rolling Thunder, able to get the controller as well around this cliff edge onto Chrysalis for the moment being. Chrysalis will manage to time walk up to the side. Still though, Arian Supreme, they're looking to chase down on this. Ari will pop the shardage to try and survive, but Puppey's kind of cleaning up. The damage from the impetus adding up. He's taken out too. Chrysalis still low, but able to jump away once again. See Supreme opt to back off out of this one. Puppey. 3 heroes dead, not a fight that Into the Breach could afford to continue to take, as this time they'll be the ones getting cleaned up. 4 dead.
My God, yeah, Puppey just did like most of the damage to that death prop. I'm waiting for this tab. Yeah, 3,800 from Impetus. Holy moly. What a fight. The Cataclysm actually ends up missing. I think the Black Hole maybe pulled him in like a rotation where it didn't clip, but either way, fight beautiful from Secret. Crystal is surviving throughout all of it, jumping back and forth, kind of kiting into the breach beautifully.
And now Secret, maybe see if they can get a bit of a push out of this. We'll get a quick catch up on the replay once again. An awkward start for Secret, but definitely ended up working in their favor. Back in action, Nishi grabs another, hang on.
It's a solo. Look at the damage. The Meteor combo, man.
All right, Nisha, he's ready to turn up. He's ready to turn up and make these sort of moves. Quick Hex and a quick kill there. Supreme not ready for that one, despite, of course, what the Hex was indeed revealed in that last fight. You knew it was there.
Yeah, just didn't expect the solo play coming out from Nisha. As now Secret, even though they start the fight awkward, have fully found their footing. Their late game scaling draft, we're seeing, we kind of like saw these big ults, the way that they set them up constantly. It's a lot for Into the Breach to really play around these timings. As they're trying to play around it now, but it's only 20 seconds until Chrono's back up. They got to find it quick.
See if they can find Chrysalis. Won't be able to clears the camp in time. Jumps away. Full Scardy done. Now on the Void.
Even tankier. Also just easier ways to commit into, Pudge and Death Prophet for sure. Very tanky now, though. 2,500 HP. I don't know if they'll have the damage to kill him before he gets the jump offs constantly now.
It's going to be very hard to do so. We did see as well that last fight, even with suboptimal ultimates, it's still a very, very difficult team fight for Into the Breach to take 5v5.
It was like technically you could say, right? It was like a 0-man Chrono almost and a 1-man Black Hole, right?
It didn't really matter.
It didn't really matter.
That's going to definitely be a concern for Into the Breach, and just goes to show how difficult of a game this will end up being for them to play out as the minutes pass.
And how do they address, this Nisha issue that has kind of been prefaced for the entirety of this game? Is I'm watching Taker in a couple of fights. He tries to blink bite him, but he has to solve the problem of the Invoker, the Enigma, and the Void. It's like, which core can he ignore? If he ignores the one of them, he just gets controlled by the other two. So it's really tough for this Pudge.
Here we go, ready to look for the fight. Secret. Crystal's leading the way with the threat of the Chronosphere. We'll see who they can catch. Zayat's going to look towards Jibe at the side, but the BKB is off in time. Chrysalis will jump forward, looking for the bashes, not quite yet ready to drop a Chrono for him. Over to the side, Into the Breach. They'll actually be able to get the jump over on towards Red, but still the BKB comes out with the Black Hole, locks down the two of them. They kill Kadaro. Now turn to look towards Supreme. They'll attempt to jump away with the Dissimulate. Will live here for now. And Otaker and Jibe haven't ended up being the easy kills that Secret may have hoped for, as they'll look to jump back in. Cataclysm comes crashing down onto Jibe, will kill him off. Once again, Puppey finding the opportunity to lay down the damage with the impetuses, as it still is the Breach having to run. Zayat, he'll look to chase this down, but Supreme catches him in the remnant. Quick dodge to the hook with the snowball, goes in, will still die to the rock, but sets up for Secret to clean up the carry Pudge. Supreme, the only one to be able to make it out of there. You saw that Puppey, he was hungry. He was ready to try and find him on the high ground. Won't quite get him. But again, another team fight where things falling into place for Secret and just falling further apart here for Into the Breach.
Yeah, they just, even though they lose Chrysalis, Nisha still, like I said, there's too many cores to deal with. They have so much they can throw out at this point that, one just carries the other one if one does die early on. As Nisha, even saving Cataclysm for the end there with this Hex combo. And now has a full refresher, so we have 2 combos that we can look forward to.
Yeah, nearly level 25. We'll see the start of this fight once again.
I missed what happened to Ari, to be honest with you, in this one, because I didn't think he got anything off on the Pango, right?
I think he just
got hexed and killed,
just
right?
completely destroyed by Nisha. They take that Pango out of the fight.
He's really important, honestly, and it's a couple fights where he's unable to really get anything off because he's just getting controlled.
As we saw, towards the end of the fight, a lot of survival on these heroes are the Pudge, the DP, Jibate, and Oteka, but not quite enough. You know, despite how long it took Secret to take them down, they still did end up taking them down.
Geez, Supreme has to be so careful. His Aeon Disc was still on cooldown. Nisha was hunting with his Refresher.
Dude, I love this as well. Check this out. 37 minutes in, this man, he knows what he needs. He's still holding a Fairy's Trinket. He just wants that extra bit of damage.
Hell yeah. I mean, he didn't get the Vambrace, right? Or
Absolutely, yeah. It's yeah, one of those situations. You know, you probably won't see this on many other heroes. 37 minutes in, a tier 1 item being the item of choice. But at the moment, indeed, maybe some of these tier 4s that are going to come out are going to be the big ones.
Let's see if he gets Timeless Relic. That's what I'm looking for. Spell Prism or Timeless Relic. That's what he wants.
I mean, he's surely going to get one of them. The odds have got to be pretty good for finding one of those 2 items.
He's 25 as well, too. So now we have Radial Deafening Blast as well inside of these fights. They'll be even more difficult.
What they can find here, they get the jump. It's an immediate reaction there from Nisha. We saw Oteka trying to get the setup, but Nisha just turns with the Hex, still gets grabbed by the Dismember from Oteka, tries for the hook, but Nisha's away with the BKB. Secret, they will lose Zayats. Jump back in from Crystallis, Chrono down, he's caught the Pudge. Oteka will fall. Rolling in, Ari also to get clipped by the edge of the Chronosphere. Black Hole from Rezo will catch and lock down Jibei, but a Remnant will put it to a stop. Kadaro still alive as they're having to focus down the CM here. Jibei with the BKB, siphoning back up to pretty much a decent amount of HP. The fear from the Siphon as well, causing some issues for Crystallis, but not enough. He's able to time walk out. Jibei's been surrounded. Secret, they'll take the fight once again.
My God, they're trying so hard to get, like Nisha, they're actually trying so hard to commit onto him, but he actually gets the refresh BKB off instantly, and the whole fight gets really awkward of them chasing Secret, able to hold their ground again, even though they get dove, and it's the Invoker who gets initiated on. He still survives.
I mean, that was just such a quick reaction there from Nisha with the Hex, right? As Oteka was trying to sneak up on him, as soon as he's shown, immediate reaction from Nisha.
It was the refresh BKB that was also incredibly fast, too, right afterwards. As into the breach, they get pulled into a bit of a weird situation trying to go for this level 25 Invoker, also, as we saw there. 4 levels ahead of anybody else.
Straight away, Nisha. BKB and a Hex. He knew that Oteka was going to go immediately for him.
And this from Ari was good, though. We see here, you're going to see how Nisha actually whipped his combo completely inside the Chronosphere, because Ari continues to roll on him. You'll see it right here. So the combo totally misses, but ends up not mattering.
And that definitely is sort of the overall story at this point of the game. You miss a spell on Secret's lineup, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you've just got the tools around to sort of cover for any whiffed abilities. You have that lead now. We'll see what sort of a defense they can pull in from the high ground, but Supreme comboed once again by Nisha, just footsteps from his base.
Look at the damage from, I mean, again, it's just the Meteor Deafening Blast combo. The Meteor does so much damage once you get this talent. Absolutely,
that kills the Void Spirit every time.
And the Fairy Trinket, you know, that's definitely making the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're considering this sort of large numbers of damage output, 5%, that's a big percent. We'll see here. Off the start of a defense, see what they can pull together. Ari trying to set things up, but not quite having the range there with a hook Oteka.
Nope, no roll now for the fight. 60 seconds.
And Black Hole is up. Crystallis teasing with him underneath the tier 4s, jumping in and out with the time walk. Chrono also at the ready. And the Aegis on the Void, Cheese on the Enigma. Secret.
Full Ags also on Rezo, so the pull in, it'll be there.
See how much Secret are allowed to get out of this. They'll definitely clean up the mid-racks. They can certainly stick around for more.
So hard to fight into them with the big bubbles, the big protection. Refresher at the ready for Nisha. He's just holding on to it, waiting for the Chrono.
We'll see again that earlier quick kill. They tried for a hook save there, Oteka, but not able to grab him. Whilst he was flailing in the air from the setup from Nisha. Into the breach, they have everybody up. But who's going to make the call? Who's going to make the move to try and start some sort of a play? Crystallis, he'll just drop the Chrono to catch out Supreme, but the Aeon Disc and a hook will take Supreme out to the side. They're able to get back in with the Remnant, bring it down to Rezo. He's in, 3-man Black Hole here. The Meteors come crashing down. 2 dead, 3 dead here on Into the Breach. The buybacks will come out. but the damage being done there as the range racks comes to an end. They'll TP in aggressively into the breach. Can they take this fight? They're in with the Siphons. Jibei forcing back the two of them. A Taker, he'll try and get on top of Nisha, but Nisha pops the Refresher. A second Tornado pushes back the Pudge. Eon this giving some safety for Nisha. Allows her to get the BKB on Zayas. Bullet to jump back in with the Snowball save. The Meteors are out. That's so Taker out for 100 seconds. No buyback for him. Secret, they'll clean up the diebacks here. Then into the breach, through into this attempt to hold off, as that is GG. Secret will take game one here, 42 minutes in.
And we prefaced it hoping for a Nisha show, and I think we got the Nisha show. He absolutely popped off this game as expected on his Invoker. Amazing game. Rezo making up for a couple of those whiffs there in the early game, gets a 3-man black hole tier toward the end. Secret, there was like some windows it looked like for Into the Breach perhaps about 15, 20 minutes ago, but after like 1 or 2 fights, you could quickly, and even from the draft, of course, as we said, the game is very difficult for Into the Breach if they don't dominate early game.
No, for sure. For sure. And we really got the sense of that kind of from the last 2 picks. This very much feels like a team that